There we go.
Just a sweet one. Nice.
Yeah.
Looking at the clock like television. Four, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the South County Advisory Council monthly meeting for June. My name is Jerry Bridge. I have the honor and privilege of chairing this council. And so welcome everybody for being here. Let's just go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see, Tom, remember how it goes? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks very much. And Rose, if you can call the roll, please.
Harry Walls, Robert Washington, Daryl Sisk, Russ Hobbs,
Here.
Tom Gerard,
Here.
Steve Schuman,
Present.
Jerry Bridge,
Present.
Gary Spellbring,
Here.
Stephen Vines, Pat Duron, Richard Wright.
Okay, great. Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, just a couple of quick but I think important comments. So the Traffic and Circulation Committee had its meeting here just prior to this regular monthly meeting. So that is we're moving forward. That committee was kind of dormant. So thank you, Tom, for standing for being chair and bringing that committee to life. And as a result of that, we had a very productive meeting with our supervisor, Supervisor Paulding, which was about 2 weeks ago or so, somewhere around there. And while that meeting was originally organized around traffic and circulation, there were about 3 or 4 of us that were there, and we really kind of got to be talking about how important it was to re-engage the entire council, to have the opportunity over lunch at the library to really learn what the priorities are for the county and how we should be thinking about as a council, you guys, how we should be thinking about projects as they come in, how to interact with people that are running those projects, what the impacts are on traffic and circulation, health and safety. So as I said in last month's meeting, I think I said this, I don't remember, but we're really wanting to transition from a council that's reactive to one that's more proactive. You know, given the extraordinary growth and development that's already currently proposed and planned for our community. And the other thing I want to do just is to thank each and every one of the council members for being here. Some of you have been here for years. I'm a kind of a new guy. And some of us are kind of in the middle of the road in terms of how long we've been participating. But, you know, I read an article in the paper this week about how public audiences are just getting terrible with interacting with public services like ours. And so I just really appreciate what it takes to get out of the house and to step up and to, you know, act in accordance with your commitment to seeing this community, you know, develop in a way that's responsible. So I really appreciate that. I want to acknowledge you for that. Okay? Do you feel acknowledged? Say yes. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Community presentation. So we have our sheriff here tonight. So please. And then Sean, would you? Yeah, please.
I stole.
Hello, this is John Benflower, Sergeant of the San Francisco Sheriff's Office. Just to give you guys some updated stats for this month so far. Calls for service in Nipomo so far this month is 624 calls, all various types. Majority of our disturbance calls, we had about 58 of those. On the enforcement level, deputies made about 112 traffic enforcement stops. I'm not sure how many citations were issued.
Okay.
And we have about 19 arrests that we made in the community so far this month.
Okay.
Pretty much on par with a typical June for last year.
That was my question. Are we, where we are on the grade?
Last year, for the full month, we had about 965 calls for service.
Okay.
So we're a couple hundred short of that, but another week to go. We'll get close.
That's right. I was like, wow, that's a good.
So for our community, the majority of calls are, disturbance calls, obviously some domestic violence and stuff. We're not like other communities where they have a whole bunch of real serious calls. We're,
Yeah.
pretty right there, pretty mediocre.
Yes. Yeah. Any questions for the sheriff? Any comments? Steve?
Yeah, let's see, I usually walk my dog out to the park, and there's guys that they play horseshoes out there. And, one of them came up to me and was telling me that they were out there playing, and the sheriff came up and started harassing them about the cars and this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. And they're usually, they play baseball there, and the kids and everything. So what they try to do is leave the parking lot open for the kids, and the parents, so when they come out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, they didn't get a chance to explain it to the officer because they said his demeanor was rather, disrespectful.
Okay. I know who the guys you're talking about that play horseshoes. I see them there all the time.
Yeah, they say,
Yeah. I know them personally. I'll go down and talk to them and find out
yeah.
what's going on. But typically those guys don't cause any problems. They're out there.
Yeah.
So now I will say that some people's interpretation of us harassing them is different from other people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I wasn't there, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Typically those guys are pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Any other questions? The sheriff? I think that's it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sean, yeah. Sean Monk, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome. Do you know, have you met everybody from last time?
I think so.
Okay. All right. And you came back anyway?
Yeah.
Solos. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not too many updates. Let's see, there's a few, projects, a couple projects with consent. And then for new business, do you want to discuss first or unavailable questions, or do you have any questions now?
Sure. So,
Yes.
so I'm sorry, ask that again. I'm playing drums in a rock and roll band and I'm swearing on deaf, so.
Oh, you're good.
Hey,
Yeah.
what was your question? I apologize.
So feel free to, ask about any projects.
Any of the projects?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna,
Yeah, or we can discuss.
we're gonna go through the projects that are on the agenda.
Great.
But just generally, so tell everyone what your position is, and you're here for Elizabeth, right? She's on maternity leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a planner with Floyd County Planning and Building. So any projects that come to us that are planning and building related, you can contact me and I'll reach out to the right person and put you in contact, or try and answer myself if I know the information. Another update is for the Nipomo community update
Yeah.
plan. We have a designated planner. I should grab some cards for her. I can bring those next time. But
Sure.
if you have any questions about the plan, is where it's at. There's no updates really on the plan, just that they have a point of contact now at the office. So feel free to let me know, and any specific
Yeah.
questions I can relay.
Yeah, and that's, that's the really big deal. That's kind of like, the context for the whole, I'm mixing metaphors, ball of wax, but, is the Nipomo community plan. That's part of when we're gonna have before we adjourn this meeting tonight, we'll announce the luncheon whiteboard meeting with Jimmy, which all the council want you to be there. And that's a big part of what we're gonna be talking about, because that's the shape of, our community going forward. Right, James? Got that? Yep.
What's the name of the person that went to contact?
Claire Muller.
So Claire is who now? She's our point of contact for what?
For just the Nipomo community plan update,
Mhm.
so
For that? Yes,
yeah, that updates with all the long-range planning division, I'm in the current planning division, so,
okay,
yeah, that's why, these are current planning projects on here, that's a long-term update.
okay, so that's useful, you know, especially with people like me who
Yeah.
don't know anything.
Yeah.
So, so in the process, okay, so she has the project, then what happens?
Well, they're still trying to figure out everything behind the scenes, so I don't have any technical updates.
No,
yet.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, just like, okay, like say she has it, does she have a timeline, give a report, and then does it go to what committee, and then what does it, you know, I mean.
Yes, we're still working on budgeting, so I believe it hasn't been completely funded yet. That should go for the board of supervisors next few months, I would believe. The plan right now, I think it's still looked at to start next summer or next fall. So there's a lot of behind the work,
Okay, so that's the,
Yeah.
the,
behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's great, Steve, because when we meet with Jimmy, I mean, we will get fully informed on where that's at, you know, what's happening, who the players are, like that, so.
Right, yeah, because it's so important, because it really lays the context for, you know, for
Yeah.
community to have control and to have checks and balances over
Yeah.
the planning department, well, the planning process, because we have something to say, well, this is, you know, and then if we get good community participation,
Yeah,
then it should be, you know, something that really, that's for the community versus one that's 40 years old, like 50.
It's early 90s, but.
Yeah.
That's 40 years.
but
Yeah.
who's counting? Anyway,
Yeah.
Sean, anything else, anything for Sean, any questions, comments? Yeah.
Sean, just a clarification question. So when you're saying, when you say starting like next summer, next fall, you're talking kind of the public participation.
Right.
That we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like there's like kind of all, like you're saying, this behind the scenes prep work
Mhm.
that goes into place, and then
Right.
there's the public engagement side.
Yeah, since it's not even funded and you don't have too much direction yet from
Yeah.
the board, so once we get to know how much money we're working with,
Yeah.
then we can start an RFP for a potential
With
consultant.
the local community plan, right? We're good there,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, right.
now we can move on to the FOMO.
Yeah,
Yeah, the good news is it's happening.
yeah, hopefully it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in the status quo, like the plan that's in place right now, you can just Google SLO County, or you can start a Nipomo community plan, and that should bring you to our county specific plan page. There's the Nipomo community plan that incorporates the entire community boundaries, but then there's also the Old Town community plan, which is pretty
Right.
unique for a city like this to have.
Yeah.
That has some more specialized guidelines to develop your downtown in a more walkable and historic fashion.
So just what is the relationship of the downtown association? So how does that fit into the big picture?
They'd be a consultant, not a consultant, sorry, advisory on the plan.
So it advises for the Old Town area,
Yes. Yeah.
for Jimmy,
What's that?
for Jimmy, I mean, for the county, or
Well, so, sorry, if you take a step back, what committee are you talking about?
the Old Town?
Yeah, so right now, they're specifically concerned with just the Old Town development. So if there's I believe that there's a project there to be referred to specifically for review, and that's separate from the board.
That's part of what we're gonna talk to Jimmy about.
Okay,
It is, we're, yeah, there's a lot of us that are committed to seeing Old Town develop extraordinarily and whatever that takes, so.
It's good bones, good streetscape. Steve's building.
It could be, I mean, I've always said, one of the things, honestly, one of the reasons I'm here is because that's part of the legacy I want to leave, is
Yeah.
having an Old Town that just rocks. You know, like Los Alamos,
Yeah.
even like Aurora Grande.
Mhm.
You know, it's a tax base, it's lived workspaces.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, cultural center. The whole reason this community is here is because largely what happened not very far from where we're sitting. That should be honored. Don't you guys believe it?
yeah,
You think so?
So question, so there is a downtown committee now?
Yeah,
Old Town?
I'm not sure about
Is
that.
it the business?
Yeah.
Yes, I can jump in here.
Go ahead.
So the Old Town Nipomo Association is a separate group that is it's sort of like an advisory council, but just for projects in the Old Town area and just I think for architectural review, not for other land use related questions. So projects I believe that are in the Old Town area get double referred to both Old Town Nipomo Association and SCAC. It is a little bit of an odd duck, just put it that way, to have both in the same overlapping area.
Yeah, yes, which necessitates the need for us to be in relationship with that group of people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is anything, yeah, we're gonna need lots of cooperation with whatever the vision is, right?
So what are the borders of that?
It's a planning area.
Yeah, it's basically from 101 to the east side of town, but if you go to the Old Town Community Plan, they have a map there, so it's kind of.
On strictly Taft or how?
No, it stretches out.
All the streets in between.
Yeah, I don't have the borders memorized, but if you go, yeah, it's.
Okay, so we just had a project go through land use that was, the street escapes me, but it's in the downtown area, Old Town area. And it was a conversion from, and we voted on it last month.
Yeah, it was a Malak and Dana.
Yeah, so that would be
Mhm.
in the Old Town.
Probably, and
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have,
I mean, it's so
memorized.
there.
So both would have to see it first, is that correct?
Okay.
Okay.
At any rate, so these are all things, this is perfect. This is what we need to get clear about and engage with.
Yeah,
All right?
and Los Alamos is probably a really good example to look at since they're not incorporated, so if you can be on there.
You know, you want to break,
We only have one street.
Here's one here, just
Well,
extra
but
stuff.
it isn't, well, at any rate, just as an example.
Yeah,
Anything else for Sean? Sean, thank you.
Just to clarify,
Yes.
for one thing, it's architectural, the Old Town Committee.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's in that's actually like in the, I can't remember what the name of the plan is, the Old Town Nipomo Business District or something like that.
Yeah.
Business District. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's specifically mentions architectural review.
Yeah, if you look at the Old Town, community plan, it's very detailed in architecture standards, so.
So, let's see, where could we get that plan?
Just, if you go online, you can just Google Nipomo Old Town Community Plan, and it'll bring you to our website. Same with the, full plan for Nipomo,
Okay.
so, I think they're all on the same page.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else for Sean? Great, thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming down. man.
We're reaching.
All right. Thank you.
You said the reason we're here is because of something that happened, not too far from here. What did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant that originally this community, I think, was settled and developed here in this general vicinity.
In the 1800s, so.
Like the 1800s.
Yeah.
I didn't mean we, like, I mean, my ancestors are Eastern European Jews, so you know, I
So you mean they didn't have council? Is
I,
that what you were talking about, the council, or you're talking about just
No.
the home?
no, I meant generally speaking, that this area was originally settled and developed. There was a,
Spanish land.
the mail wagon used to pass through here, I think.
The Dana Adobe was the center of,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, you know, it's pretty cool, right?
Party place.
All right, any other, public, not public, but community presentations? James, you got anything? You good?
No, I'm good, right.
James?
Okay.
Okay, good.
It's up to you, I have a couple of things I can share.
Please,
Okay.
please, come on, man. Please, please, please.
James DeFranco, Supervisor Politics Legislative Assistant. Always a pleasure to be here. Supervisor Politics sends his regards. It's the board break for the next 2 weeks, so he is out of town. But I'm here in his stead, and he does plan to have it on the calendar. I'm going to protect it. He's going to be here next month. And we're also hoping to have our planning commissioner, Miriam Shaw, here at that meeting as well. Get a
Yay,
chance to meet with her and ask her questions, et cetera.
great.
So thank you for reconvening the Traffic and Circulation Committee. One thing I wanted to bring up during that meeting that because I was a little late to it, it was a robust discussion to get a chance to, but it's relevant to everybody here. I sent out an email about this a couple weeks ago, but, or something in the last, the time war, but whatever that was. But SLOCOG, the San Luis Obispo Council of Governments, is doing a study, or a survey, excuse me, to prepare basically an action plan for pedestrian and roadway safety enhancements in the long run for the county. And they have a survey where they're trying to get people in the community to weigh in on some of the things they want to see improved. They also have an interactive map where you can drop pins and write comments about this road, I experienced this unsafe, this, near collision, or when I'm on my bike here, it's not safe, or this need better, crossing improvements, whatever it may be. And the last time I checked, and I haven't checked it in a couple of days, not since last week, but there was, almost all of the feedback countywide was in the city of SLO, and there was one data point in Nipomo, and I encouraged somebody to submit that. So I'm on a personal mission to try to get as many Nipomo points on that map.
Awesome.
Because I do think that it's important for, not only for the region to have that feedback, for SLOCOG, which, goes after a lot of infrastructure grants and improvements, but being involved in that plan and getting those data points in now will, help set us up for success in the future when we're going after those bigger grants for, whether they're Safe Routes for All grants or active transportation grants, other improvements that I think are gonna be really important for Nipomo. So I mentioned that now. I can resend the email out with the links. But please share it. It's a public survey, so share it far and wide. We want people to take it and weigh in.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Great.
great.
Please resend that, definitely.
Yes, I
We'll
will.
get it out there.
I will send it out there, because I want to open that map, and I want to see dozens of dots from people giving feedback in the moment.
That's really.
So please make my day and submit your feedback.
Absolutely.
Because I get a lot of people that email me with concerns, and I'm like, let's catalog, put this into a plan, right, into an action plan. So.
Yep.
And then I know we want to talk about scheduling the kind of that whiteboard meeting, so it sounds like you're mentioning that.
We got a date for you.
Great.
Yeah.
Then you can email it to me or give it to me now, whatever.
July 11th. July 11th counties, right?
Oh, that's good, right?
It's Thursday, July 11th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the library in Nipomo. And appreciate everybody making that. I promise will be outstanding. And we really need you there. Just council only, not your friends, just council only.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you, and I'll make sure to get that confirmed on our calendar. We already have those dates held that we sent out, but we're locked in for that. Just a quick update that the road work for the left-hand turn lane that they were installing on Los Barros at Dale Avenue, that was supposed to start a couple months ago, and the soil was too wet to postpone it. I believe that supposed to have started yesterday, so it should be ongoing now. There's going to be some delays in that area, just an FYI. Not only are they putting in a left-hand turn lane there, but they're also extending the bike lane as well, so just another kind of overall enhancement. Those Barros and Dale Avenue. Yeah, so near one of them. And then, then I have a press release that Public Works sent on that. I'll also forward that you guys can distribute. And then last but not least, Supervisor Pauling's is off for the next 2 weeks. I will also be off next week, so our office will be closed. So if you have any concerns, get them into me sooner, or I will not be getting back to you until the second week of July, as I spend some time with my family down in Southern California. So just an FYI, any issues that come up, just get them to me sooner rather than later.
You're going to SoCal? You driving?
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, any questions, anything I can help?
Any questions?
Things, so.
Do you know the link of Anne for SLOCOG survey?
I don't have a link I can just rattle off. I think it was one of those ones that's not necessarily easy. I'm sure people just
email it out,
SLOCOG's.
right?
So yeah,
We're emailing it out.
I'll email it out. If you go to SLOCOG's website, it'll be on the homepage. I'll send it.
Okay, SLOCOG's website.
About the dog park. I've been going there for 2 years. I cannot understand how people said that, that we want to move it because of glass, when to do a brown area, what you have to do to it to make it so that it can be used by humans is you gotta take out so many feet, put 6 feet on top of it, and, and it's, federal regulations. And there's no way that, the glass is gonna come, gravity doesn't go up. It goes down, in a sense, and I think it would be a major mistake to move the dog park, because, even if, you can dig this far, it'd be a waste of money for the community, because it's only a couple people, they said they had a bag of glass, people in there, they're breaking glass, young people, the, skating thing is right above, they throw stuff down, and, I think it'd be a waste.
I will say referring to the dog park and how there's been some issues there, I will say that the glass issue is one that I've definitely witnessed firsthand. I've been out there and picked up glass. I know that it's not just from people breaking bottles, that it's been a historical thing, talking to park staff, that because it is on an old landfill, the glass does surface from underneath. I can't, I'm not a geologist, so I can't explain how that works, but I just think that we do know that it's documented, it's been a problem, and the reason why we're moving it is because the remediation for that site would be way too expensive. But moving the dog park isn't as expensive of a project as the remediation would be. And the Nipomo Park Master Plan, which was developed with a lot of community input, the last update was, I think, like 6 or so years ago, envisions the dog park in a different area in the park. So it's already been accounted for that it would be moved.
Okay.
And that project, the moving of the dog park, the relocation was funded through approval of the data reserve project. However, since that project's now in litigation, that funding is tied up until that litigation is resolved.
Oh, it's tight.
Where is it proposed?
The proposed relocation of the dog park is kind of over near where the basketball courts are, near the entrance on Pomeroy. So on the kind of in
The new basketball courts that they put in?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So kind of in between Pomeroy and the basketball courts, there's kind of not in the existing kind of developed area of the park, but just on the other side of the road there.
So right by where the trail goes up?
Yeah, where one of the trails is, yeah.
The ranger station is right on the backside.
Yeah, and that's in the Home Park Master Plan. And I'm glad you brought up the park, because I'll just mention one other quick thing, and then I have to sit down here, otherwise I'll just keep talking all night. But unfortunately, there's going to be some dead grass in the park in a very specific area for a limited time. We are going through the process of reducing some of our water usage at the park, in part for budgetary reasons, in part for just conservationist reasons, but some of the grass over by the tennis and pickleball courts, but kind of more closer to the road, is being transitioned into a more natural environment. And so we're working with the Parks Department on figuring out kind of once that transition happens, it's kind of a lengthy process to kill off grass, is how to plant some native vegetation there and still make that look nice. But just so you know, when you see some dead grass over there, it is planned as part of a bigger effort. It's not just like the incremental one.
Awesome. Intentionally bad grass.
I know. It's just gonna look bad for a time, but when we're done, we rip it out. We're gonna put something nice in there. And it's gonna look better.
James, thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, are there any other comments? Any comments about anything that's not on the agenda?
Anything?
Okay, good. Seeing none, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. So you have 3 items: the approval of last month's minutes, treasurer's report, and the project conditional use permit ending in 00055. Verizon Wireless is proposing a new 50-foot tall faux water tower.
There's also a 4th item here on the second page.
Oh, for consent?
Yeah.
Sorry. Like I said, the fourth item on page 2 of your agenda is the project Kroger amendment ending in 00005 to amend a building envelope on parcel 6. So are there any discussions about anything that's on the consent agenda?
Where is that water tower?
That's a good question. Because we looked at that a while back.
It's a Verizon, Sheehy
Yeah.
area.
It's the Verizon
Oh,
wireless
but
one.
she.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Rachel-
If so I'm not too familiar to be able to describe it exactly, but from Dana Reserve, it's roughly maybe half a mile towards the foothills.
Towards the foothills.
Yes.
So heading east.
Was it by Sheehy? Is it by Sheehy?
Did you want to talk about the project?
Yeah,
Sheehy and Dana Foothill, south corner.
And then it's it.
Okay. Okay, so it's close to the foothills.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, like between the foothills and 101.
I got it.
Yeah, a few hundred feet off of Dana, Foothill.
You're here for that project?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, sir. You want to-
Okay.
I don't need to talk about it, I'm talking to
So it's mostly
So-
the
so-
service at Rancho Nipomo area?
the existing home.
This item is already on the consent agenda, so we just want to discern if there's any conversation or need to pull it from the agenda, in which case this young gentleman would respond. So is there a request to pull that?
Yeah, I think we should pull it real quick so we can just,
Okay.
just do a little
Okay.
overview of it.
And then with regard to the other items named, is there any discussion about those? Seeing none, is there a recommendation for consent?
I make a motion,
All in favor? Okay, so be it. All right, so you want to come up and we'll start with your project here. And you can tell us about it, and Steve, you can.
I shouldn't have identified myself.
I know, man, you sunk your ship.
I'm glad to talk about it. Hi, I'm Pete Shubin. I'm with Sequoia Deployment Services. We represent Verizon Wireless for this project. I think the question was location. So I pulled it up. Sheehy and North Dana Foothill, they don't run north, south, east, west. The corners towards the north, and there's lemons growing in there. There's a tool, equipment awning area with solar panels. This is just next to that. So in the lemon grove, there's an equipment area
Yeah.
and storage, and this is going right next to that location.
Is it gonna have anything like written on it, like Nipomo or?
No, we weren't proposing any
No.
sign, it's just an old rustic looking water tank.
Oh, so it's gonna look like it'll fit in kind of a deal?
Yeah, that's the idea,
That's
going to a farm area where you
Yeah.
have an awning where you put equipment and have a water tank.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any independent residences in that real close proximity to that?
The lemons is the large parcel, then there's 5 to 10 acre lots that are broken up there. And then if you go across the road, so it's a few hundred feet south of the road, you go across the road, then you go up the road, and they're kind of up in the canyon there.
Okay. So basically, a residence would have something right in front of their house or,
No, sir,
thank you.
How tall will it be?
50 feet.
Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to recommend this project for consent?
I make a motion, we consent to this project.
Great, second? All in favor? All right, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good.
Give me a reason to stop down the street for dinner.
There you go. Come on, man. That's what we aim to do. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we have, 2 projects, new business. So is there somebody here from this is the project ending in 00016, by Brandy Robertson, conditional use permit, self-storage facility. Is there anyone here for that project?
I can speak a little bit to it, I'm the city.
Sure, if you, yeah.
So we might want to put this on another agenda.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, there's 2 projects actually proposed on the to actually, I put another one last year, I believe, but they went ahead with it and then sold the property. And last time I heard with the other planner working on it, they were discussing it and kind of figuring out what they want to do. So the
Okay.
title I have has the current owners on it, so I look at the property or look at the permit history, and the permit was never closed or anything, so
Okay,
it's kind of confusing. So we might want to table that recommendation.
okay.
I'm the planner on the project, so yeah. It's,
Was that, the older, the first time, was that a trail, story trailer?
yes, it's
Yeah.
RV storage. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with
Yeah,
it.
That is
Yeah,
on the Nipomo trailer.
We approved that one.
Oh, yeah. maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Yeah,
So we want,
So,
the new,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we table the project.
okay,
get it in a second?
yeah.
The second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, table, great. Thanks. Okay. And then the last project is the Vanta cell tower ending in 00019. We have somebody here representing that. You want to come on up and just
Okay.
help us understand what that tower is all about? Welcome.
My name is Jerry Ambrose, I'm the applicant for the project, and what I have here is a low-tech presentation.
All right, cool, man.
Sorry about that.
You're the right place. No, really, seriously.
I only have 6 copies.
Yeah. I just had a quick, look, see. Okay.
Makes sense.
All right.
So I'm going to share it. Yeah.
One more. Okay. All right, Jerry.
Hey, good evening, my name is Jerry Ambrose again. We're proposing a new T-Mobile cell tower at 1389 Dawn Road. And what I've shown you are the first graphic, there is a puzzle mock-up, sort of a before and after view from Sundale Way. And where the tower is proposed to be 77 feet high and will be disguised as a eucalyptus tree. So if you're looking at that first view, you can see it there with the, I assume you can see it?
You're talking about this view?
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle of your view.
Yeah.
So that's what it will look like after it's built. There's a 30 by 30 wall at the base, and then again, the tower itself is 77 feet high.
Quick question for you, sorry to interrupt. 1389 Dawn, where on Dawn is that?
Dawn and Sundale.
Dawn and Sunday.
It's on the east side of Sundale,
Okay.
and south side of Dawn Road.
Okay, so that's before you get to Palmer. So that's between like Via Concha and,
It's parallel to Palmer, too.
So if you're going, all I know, the way I know is you go to Willow going west.
yes.
You take a left on Sundale.
Okay,
There's an exit.
Oh,
there
okay.
By the golf course.
Your view,
I got it. I got you.
I don't really get between streets, so.
Yeah, I got you, I was trying, yeah. Okay,
Sundale goes on the west end of the other subdivision.
I got you, yes.
It's kind of just northeast of Trilogy,
Yeah, okay, I was trying.
a few roads over, up northeast.
Awesome, okay.
So that's the basis of the project, it's very simple. It's a set amongst a lot of tall eucalyptus trees that are already there.
Yeah,
There's a CSD water district property that's immediately to the south of the property, so it sort of abuts that. And what I've also attached there are some plans.
Yep.
Sort of more detailed showing of what's being proposed.
okay.
I did get a call from someone representing Trilogy, the developer, and he said they welcome, just generally, they welcome new service to the area.
Yes.
Who is the carrier that you represent?
This is a T-Mobile.
Who?
T-Mobile. And it's designed for co-location, so if a Verizon or an AT&T or Dish came along in the future, they could potentially locate on the same time.
Good, I'd like to see Verizon going.
So
Right.
they will come, kind of thing.
More technology, come on. What questions do we have for this? And this tower, oh, that's, What's this that I'm looking at?
It's upside down.
That's the
Yeah.
tree.
It's a tree, it's wider at the top versus narrower. at the top.
They have them around here somewhere.
Yeah, they have them right here.
There's one just, just down here.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now I got it.
So,
What are the branches and,
There's a really.
Well, it's a sophisticated plastic, I guess you would say.
yes, you're right, so it's durable.
It's tough.
And we've got several in the county.
Oh, okay. Where can we just go see one?
There's one on tap.
Huh?
There's one here.
There is?
There's one in town. and-
That's all I need. If I haven't noticed it, then, you know.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
I was right next to your house here.
Was that the perfect example?
Yeah, definitely one there. No, that's great.
There's also one at the end of, I can't remember the name of this road.
No further
Yeah, I've
questions?
seen that. I think that's what I'm seeing the most. By the fire department?
Thompson.
Or
Yes.
the-
I have a question, let's see, so, what kind of radiation do they emit?
Well, they have to follow whatever the SCC requirements are, like all cell towers.
So what is that?
The SCC sets a standard.
No, I mean, what is their, do you know what the standard is?
Well, I don't know what the standard is, no, I'm sorry. All the cell companies, they all follow the same standard.
Other questions?
Jerry, why did you put this here?
Why did I put what? Land use committee does not have a recommendation out of committee.
We were unable to view the project in advance, so that's why we didn't have a recommendation yet.
Oh,
And we just asked Carrie to just come directly present to the full council.
Any other questions, comments?
Looks good.
Can I get a recommendation
I
on this?
move that we recommend approval. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So be it. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
This is one of the best presentations we've had here for a long time.
Oh, good, okay. I thought I had to bring a projector thing. All right, video, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. All right, moving on, kids. The committee reports, so TNC, anything to,
Well, we had a nice meeting, it was our first meeting
yeah,
today, and so basically just everyone got together, meet each other and try to talk about a strategy of how to move forward. James came to the meeting and gave us some good insight. So I think, going forward, how I see it anyway is it's kind of gonna run parallel with the land use committee.
yeah,
Because in some instances,
yeah,
because if there's a project that is going to be, require issues as far as traffic,
Yeah.
then what I want to do is be able to forward those properties to the traffic and circulation committee.
Yeah.
So they can look at them.
Yeah.
And have some input on what's going on.
love it.
And so
Yeah.
basically, it was good, again, it was first meeting, but I think it was a good meeting and
Well done, sir. You guys have is the plan monthly before this regular meeting, or not quite that far yet?
well, I think at this point, we're still gonna do the meeting before this meeting
Nice.
and just kind of see where that takes us.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, it's all about, so much of what's happening about traffic and circulation, and if we don't get on top of it, a lot of us are here because, we like the spacing.
Mhm.
But
But again, the reason I would think that it does work with it, going prior to this meeting is like, for instance, we're fortunate enough to have Sean here today.
yeah,
So if we did have,
Yeah.
Questions within that meeting, that could
Yeah.
carry on to this meeting without
Yeah.
Sean having to be in both meetings or,
awesome.
so I'm optimistic that it's going to be, a good, strong asset.
With you at the helm, I can't see how it wouldn't be. And you got great people. I mean, what inspires me is that we have really an actively engaged council, because we really can make a difference. And, So, all right, cool. All right, land use.
The next meeting will be 2 weeks from today. Don't foresee any issues on that. Maybe a few days later than usual getting the agenda out, folks, but we haven't got until the 9th or 3rd. You try to get it out a week ahead, so you guys time to look, because some of the packets are huge and we'll have time to digest them. And then for August and September, I may need to find somebody to pinch hit chairing the meeting, the actual Zoom meeting. Because I may be accepting a work gig temporary.
No.
Just helping to refurbish all the computers.
All right.
So, we'll see.
All right, well, keep us posted. Just, you know, just love having this guy, like, help keep me on track, so I appreciate you. And then anything with website management?
Up to 91 followers and.
Come on.
Yeah, it's steadily increasing.
Really, 72 last.
Yeah. So 91.
I've been sharing them.
So yeah, everybody share. We're getting the vision slowly. People see it.
Yeah.
Could we possibly get a picture or something in the top, something that makes it look, because when it's just the S, people think it's a dead page.
Yeah,
There's no activity.
That's a good point. Yep. You need a photo. I actually asked Kevin for one a long time ago. He never did. That's good for you.
The meeting on 7/11 library is at 11 or 11:30?
11:30 a.m. You want to be there and be ready to go by 11:15.
What?
That's what leaders do.
We'll probably have an appointment right before it, going
So
11:30.
you have to wait outside respectfully. Self-correcting leader.
Towards the
He's talking
website.
about the website.
Website takeover,
Yes.
we just need, once we get the budget finalized, get the money approved for it, then we just need to turn Derek loose. And if everybody wants to take a few minutes and look over the website currently that we have and say what things we need to tweak and give us some suggestions, we give those all to Derek and he can make us, he said, help put something together, we like it or not, and we shoot it down or we change it until we're happy.
Yeah, I appreciate
Because it
that.
doesn't need to be brought into the.
We need a web makeover for sure.
Yeah. Long review.
Something that's robust and engaging, so we look forward to that. Awesome.
Recommendations. I'll just send a calendar. They're just having a date for when even the committees, I think you get more people here too.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, this, you know, given everything that's happening, no excuse, and that's on us to get people here. All right, Gary,
Yes.
treasurer's report.
The treasury report is going to be a request for the budget. And I got, Gerald came through and we're going with the max of $2,000 for the website makeover. And $200 for website, for the Zoom expenses.
Count, yeah.
That's all I've heard so far.
Yeah.
And I've heard talk of,
The projector.
no, I didn't hear you talk about any projector.
Okay.
You're jumping in on something new. Community outreach.
Yes,
Yeah, so I'll be talking about that.
yes.
Didn't you want a check approved for the meeting that was in the last minutes? You said you wanted to talk about it at the next meeting. There was a check for $250 or $300, you need it approved.
Yes, we got that approved.
Okay,
It's all finally taken care of. Yeah, thank you.
are you welcome?
So, anything else about that?
Either we talk about it before about community outreach, and I come up with $1 for the budget, or it goes until next March with
Okay,
$8.
well, then we need to discuss that.
Okay, so, let's see, we're haven't got together with the committee yet, but we have 3 members, to be on the committee, and we just gonna set a date, probably, we're gonna set a date, and just talking with them over the telephone, the 3 major areas that we're gonna work with is we're gonna do voter registration, because, we start off with voter registration, that's to be able to vote for us. So we're gonna have one committee that'll be over voter registration, so when we have the elections in the different 6 areas that we have, then we'll have participation. So that'll be a community outreach thing. And then we are gonna do a newsletter also, we'll do a newsletter once a quarter, probably just to talk about the different activities. And then we'll have an activities committee, and we have planned to put on one activity a quarter. So what we were looking at maybe for the voter registration was maybe $300 or something like that, to be able just to buy those forms that we can maybe get them printed, and then maybe have it on the website, or also with a little thing you can take on your phone and be able to fill it out. And then the newsletter, we were thinking about maybe about $400, but we were going to get sponsors. So most of that, printing, if we get hard copies, we go ahead and get our own sponsors, but we may need just maybe about $400
I've got a sponsor for you.
to get it going. And then the activities, we were pretty much so since we can't raise money, what we're going to do is get sponsors and then maybe work with the Old Town, the Nipomo Association, and this, that, and the other, to be able to do a fundraiser with them, and they just keep the money for us, and then if we need to do other activities, we'll be able to do something like that. So that was so our budget, which was, we were looking at somewhere about $1,000 for outreach.
There's a lot of activities coming up, the concerts in the park, the Nipomo cruises. People come to the Nipomo cruise from everywhere. You would be able to set up like a table or something.
Yeah.
And the concerts in the park, they are so packed as well. So those are gonna be going on for the next 2 to 3 months. So it's gonna be really good, a lot of people.
Yeah. So anyway, that's sort of what our activity, so we'll get in contact and see what day we probably meet once a month for, until we get, it's established. And then after that, maybe every other month or something like that.
Yeah, off the heels of what these guys are saying, can I make a recommendation about that? That the 3 people that you have so far, and anybody else that you would invite, like here and now, to actually look at the dates of these activities and find out what it takes for us to set up a table. We have a banner that's already made last year when my band played at the rally. Steve made a nice banner, SCAC. I'm just suggesting that.
Yeah, well, that'll be the first thing that we do when we put together our newsletter, is just the events, community events. And then once we get that, and then we'll make a decision, like I said, our major outreach is what we'll do is doing voter registration, ask them where they live at, and blah, blah, talk about the different areas that we have, and so on and so forth.
Sure. So the people the 3 people that you have volunteered, they're obviously not council members.
Right.
They're just friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 of them, 2 on the MCA, and then I had talked briefly with somebody on Old Town.
Okay, perfect. My request is that if you can just report to me what's happening.
Okay.
Because I have you on my list, what's happening with the activities, and I'm happy to hear that report.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't had a chance to meet, so once we meet, then I'll go ahead and give a final.
Okay.
Everyone occurs with, we just talked about.
Good.
The basic activities.
I really want to see us out there. Like we're saying, there's tons of activities, and we can do it, just you tell us, we'll show up, we'll have, whatever. Okay?
When you say newsletter, you mean an actual hard copy of paper?
It'll probably be digital, probably go on the website, to start off, but, and then if we get enough sponsors, to put some ads in or something like that, then we'll be able to do a hard copy, because then it'll be cost. So what we were planning on doing was, maybe offset the cost with sponsors, with, all the projects and everything, because I don't know what our ultimate budget could possibly be. But if we sort of had $1,000 to get, each one of those 3 sections, started, then we could raise our own money as far as, getting sponsors, from the community to offset.
So would you set up the newsletter on the SCAC website? So this way you're promoting
Yes.
one thing, you know what I mean? You're pushing everything to
Centralized.
one to one area.
Yeah,
And then if they go to that website, then this way there could be a link to the newsletter. And that would be the most cost-effective way to
I
do
mean,
it.
I don't know why we wouldn't have a page on our current website that
Right.
says, you know, hey, here's the news.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy.
That's all we need.
yeah, well, yeah, that right there, then like I said, then you want something, maybe, once we get going, and if we get sponsors and stuff, to have a hard copy, so you can leave at this place, leave here, leave there,
Yeah,
And then, so to have make it functional, it'll be a calendar of events for the community also,
community calendar,
Your community calendar
right.
put on by us, basically with the newsletter that I was, sort of.
Right.
thinking
Yeah,
about.
I mean, I really, really, really want to see us be a regular presence. Concerts at the park, what are some of the other things we were talking about that are happening?
Oktoberfest, they got the baseball game.
The cruise nights, all those are just great opportunities for people to learn who we are. I mean, there's nobody here because nobody knows we're here.
Right.
So what's it gonna take for us to get the first one? I really am jonesing for this, pushing. What's the next date where there's a show? Does anybody know? Does anybody have a calendar here?
July the 4th, something instead, the concerts in.
Which
Is
is
it like every Wednesday, or, yeah,
It's
right.
starting right around July the 4th.
yeah,
Well, I shared the link, and I shared quite a few stuff on our Facebook, and I do Nipomo Neighbors. I do that other Nipomo group. We're talking about 15,000 people in those groups.
yes,
They see our notices. Believe me, they see it. I mean, they'll scroll through, they'll say, oh, there it is.
yeah.
I don't know what it is that we could pull them in
Here's what it is.
to do it, because they're just, yeah.
I think what it is personal engagement. The reason I'm here is because I got with people who were talking about this and one thing led to another. So in a world where there's so much information trafficking electronically, it's just noise, right? Now, it's good, but for my money, there's nothing that replaces in person, shake your hand, give me a hug, here's who we are, have a cookie, come to a meeting. I promise you, we make meetings fun. This is important. You care about traffic, right? Good, be there.
And creating a network, creating a network with other organizations. That's really the major way to increase your, your outcomes and your ability to get more people, because you have a bigger market, and,
Yes.
Are we allowed to ask for donations?
James, I forgot what Jimmy said about donations.
Not financial, let's just say, we
Like,
went to Costco and said, hey, we're having a meeting, we'd like to engage the community. Would you be willing to donate maybe 10 dozen cookies from your bakery? Can we do that?
I don't see any reason why you couldn't, but that's up to you, yeah.
Yeah, so like if we were gonna have a booth or something, and we had cookies or something.
Yes,
People will come, put food and drink down, and they will come.
yes,
Especially if it's free.
that's right. I mean, that's,
It's true.
we
They will come.
just gotta get out there and schmooze and be our lovely selves, and this thing will just grow.
So as long
And it's
as
a
we
hell of a
do
lot more
that,
fun
that's good.
when there's freaking people here.
So I think if we do a digital newsletter, I don't think there should be really much of a production cost for that, for printing them out. I think just keeping it digital is the way to go.
Cool.
yeah, and like I said, we'll start off with digital, and then we'll move from there. Once we get sponsors and stuff, and have a hard copy to leave at the post office or
The library, the pharmacy. that'd be a
the
good place.
pharmacy and places like that.
So James, we've never had any kind of outreach. I'll be the stick in the mud. We've never done this before, just to get that out there. Oceano, have they done anything like this?
Yeah, they do a lot of kind of community type events. They kind of host a lot of their own things. They kind of operate a little bit almost like a little mini chamber of commerce in some respects.
Well, I know there's an Oceano community something in addition to them, right?
Well, the Advisory Council in Oceano, the Vitality Advisory Council of Oceano and Baco, is the only advisory council.
Right.
And then there's the Oceano Community Services District,
Do
which
you go
is
to
just
those
like
meetings?
NCSD. Yeah, occasionally, just like I'm not at every meeting.
Possibly mention if they'd be interested in showing us, or at least coming to our meetings and giving us some tips or kind of helping us out a bit?
Yeah, you're obviously, I'd be more than
And we
happy
could
to
go
make an
down.
introduction,
That'd be great.
that you could connect
You
with
can
that.
start dating.
Oh.
Aren't there two advisory, or two councils over there?
No, there were two at one point, and then there was one, and there were two, and there was one again.
And
So
so yes,
there's only
that would
one
be-
right now, yeah. We don't need, it's a.
Well, this is perfect, because I think.
It's a history we don't need to go down.
Yeah, this is really perfect, because I think that kind of wants to happen, is we need to, mix with other.
But I think, getting back to the broader question of your advisory council doing outreach, it's obviously your prerogative to do that, to be out in the community, to try to let people know that you're here. If you want to host your own events, that's fine. It's really, it's whatever's in alignment with your bylaws. We have, the way that the advisory council program works at the county is there's like some very narrow rules about what you can't do, and it's really up to you about what you decide you want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's,
Cool.
it's more of a, you're your own entity, you're not an actual
Good, so
official
here's
county.
what I would like to see, Steve, sorry, Elijah. July the 20th, concerts in the park, stepping out, big band, that place will be jamming.
What day was that?
Isn't there one before that?
It's July 20th.
Yeah, but stepping out
Just
the draw.
July the 20th, just saying, let's get a date,
Certain bands.
let's rally around a date, let's everybody be there unless you can't be, right? July the 20th, we get a table, we got the banner, it's not rocket science.
That's cruise night also.
That's also Renaissance
What is
weekend.
cruise night?
I mean, let's just-
I don't know what cruise night.
People
Right?
actually gather
Can we
around
get
the
a,
tap
can we
here.
get an amen on that, can we get a promise?
Is not the first
And
sponsor?
thousands of people
Wednesday?
come, and they do a cruise up and down town. They
I
park in
don't
the
know.
park.
I think first sponsor of the park might be Wednesday.
Am I looking at, oh, I'm looking at an old calendar.
Yeah, look for, I've been doing the same thing, you know, yeah, 2024,
So, tell me, talk to me.
June 26th, I think, which that's
That's,
2 days from now.
that's close, so, I mean, I don't wanna, what's the next one?
That's
I think it's every Wednesday, starting this.
Yeah, it starts this Wednesday, I thought.
What's the following Wednesday after July 26th?
July 3rd.
July 3rd,
That's what I thought.
and then July, was it,
July 10th, July 17th, July.
all right, July 10th, who's playing July 10th?
This is a really low resolution image of it.
So that's, what, a couple of weeks? People are around, you guys are around, who's willing to play? Show up there for a little bit of an hour, July 10th?
Like I said, we'll go ahead and make that happen.
Let's make that happen, talk to me,
Yeah, so I'll
We
get
will.
you.
we can invite back.
Well, if we all did like shifts or something, to show up and hang out for 30 minutes or something, it won't seem like such a big obligation. And if we all did a little bit of time, that would work great.
And, and then like I said, once we get our committee together, so we, I hope to have at least 10 people on the committee.
Okay,
So that, once we set our, what our yearly, agenda is, that, our
yes,
committee will be the supplement, so.
good.
It won't be like,
Do we have brochures or anything?
Nothing.
And that's another thing we're gonna make.
We have some nice maps that Steve made. I have these copies that, see that on that border there? Steve made that last year, the front, back of that.
So taking the
That's
maps.
really awesome, not together. So I still have a bunch of those. We have a banner. And then, some people should just either get something from Vons or make some stuff and just, we'll just talk to people like we like to do, don't we? Yeah.
So they're gonna get their stuff together and have a plan, but for now, Gary needs a number to put on the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, I said about $1,000. I said about $1,000 for the budget.
$1,000 for the year.
For the year. Yeah, like I said, what we'll do is 300 for the voter registration, another 400 for letters, and 400 for activities. So, so that's 1,100. So, and then like I said, we'll raise the money from sponsors for everything else, if we exceed all of those. Most of them are just gonna be for promotional. Because we also wanna do a brochure, because that's one of the major, because within the application for voter registration, we'll make the brochure, maybe a threefold brochure, and then the last fold is where you have your voter registration to vote in our election.
So is this a brochure that describes the SCAC and then it includes
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's part of the voter registration.
Maybe we could get area one and area seven excited enough to join our president.
There you go. Yeah, we're short, so. okay,
So anyway, so we'll have our mock-up by the next meeting, for everybody to look at. But that's our goal for voter registration, is to have a 3-page,
Okay.
one for voter registration, and then a little, maybe what we do, who's, the members, if you don't want to be on there,
Okay.
say you don't want to, something like that.
All right, and that guy right there can work with you on printing, and that's what he does.
Okay,
Steve meets Steve, okay?
okay,
Slow code printing.
okay.
For all your printing needs. Also plays in a rock and roll band.
Squares.
So 1,100, I think you said?
So are we, so what's your request, 1,000 or 1,100?
1100.
1,100. Okay, so is there a second on that $1,100?
It's just, it's
We're
just
just
part of the budget.
We're part of the budget, so whatever.
So then,
I think
forget that. $1,100 is the
only
request.
got 2,000.
Okay, thank you, Steve. You can tell him, yep.
Okay, just some clarification, when you're talking about the voter registration, are you talking about, voter registration through the county clerk recorder, like register to vote? Or you're talking about registering people to vote in your elections?
Like each one of us, like if it was 3 of us to run and it was only one position, we have to go to the election, right?
Yeah, there's no real registration necessary in advance, though, no.
No,
Everybody just shows up and we tell which.
I'm not just doing it for
Which
promotion.
court order.
No, it's just, this will be just promotional, in the sense to let them know
Okay.
that they can vote, and if they send, and then if we have their information, then we can call them if there's an election, you see what I'm saying? So, it's.
Oh, I understand.
It's just promotional, in the sense that to let the community know if they really wanna participate.
But we always advertise
Well,
it in the paper.
yeah, but it's good what you're saying.
Yeah,
We'll help
it's
you.
promotional.
Yeah, excellent, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, so it's not for the,
Thank you.
election, but
Yeah,
for.
but it's one more building.
Back to Gary.
Oh.
Thank you.
Gary,
Now
that's
we
Gary.
cover 5 cities.
So, budget, yes.
No, that was the last thing, that if I can't see mailing out 18,000 voter registration cards to Nipomo. Besides, the advisory council covers all of the South County except for Oceano. I mean, we got more mailing than we have money.
Oh, no, it's like, it's just gonna be a brochure, like when we doing an event, we'll have something to hand to somebody, and how many people we touch, if we touch 500 people, 1,000 people, whatever, and the other, we're not gonna mail out anything. There's gonna be no mail, it's gonna be a promotional thing, just to get their data, and they can get information about us.
So he's talking about some sort of forum to help, to get people engaged so we can collect their information to potentially participate with us,
If, by
by
chance,
council or some related activity, something like that.
or a committee, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah,
That
committee.
we can start building that database of, community members, and letting the community know that, that.
Maybe
they
just a
can
piece, it could be a piece with a QR code on it to direct them to our website.
participate. Bingo, yes.
So a car, now right? Yeah, we don't need the,
Well, it's just a brochure to let them know what we do, what our goals and objectives is, what our work is.
I think
Who's the members.
I mean, I don't know about a brochure at this point, but I do, I'm totally down with and in line with just a simple card that says who we are and how to connect with us.
Okay.
Because at least initially, and then if we have that, where we are, we don't have to, we can just say, point your camera here, put your phone here. And then,
If we got tables set up at different events, and we have stack of business cards with the information on it and hand it out, that's cool.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
We start with that? Yeah.
I have a problem asking the county for $1,100
Yeah.
to send out voter registration. And this is-
Oh, no, it's 400, no, it's just, no,
Yeah.
one is for the newsletter and one is for activities. We're gonna do 4 activities, so it's $100 per activities. And then, for the newsletter, if we did, print, it'll be $400 is our maximum budget that we would print for materials. And then the other one is newsletter, in case that, we need it. So, so it's not for that, right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
4 different committees.
3 minutes.
Activities. So it's 300 for one, 400 for one,
Yeah.
and 400 for another.
Steve, here's what I would say about, so good work so far. I mean, the thing that I can kind of get is $100 per activity for incidental expenses.
Yeah.
I think we should just really, and then maybe a couple $100 to do some sort of printing, to have something to hand to people
Right,
with a QR code on it,
right.
because that's how people are trafficking today and talking today. So we're talking maybe, I don't know, $700 to start with. That's what I could support.
Okay, that'll work for me. That'll work, like I said, I was just,
Yeah,
because like I said, because we should raise, we're raising money,
yeah,
raise money,
We-
to do
Yeah.
it.
okay, good.
You can start.
All right, so are we good with that, with the 700 here? Is it, yeah, so that's better.
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna be up to Jimmy and James.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Well, I'm glad that James is here to
Can I-
witness this mission, guys. Yes,
Is there a way to specifically target Area 1 and Area 7, because they're vacant? What's going on with that?
yeah, we can just go knock on doors.
Is that,
The Mormons have it in my neighborhood.
You better be packing.
Good luck. Jesus, it looks like you came out of hospital. Hold on, you guys. Zero has something to say.
I thought about the court, when we had some projects going on in Area 7 for land use. I think hitting the HOAs in those neighborhoods would be right for the picking. There are people that already volunteered, they know everybody in the neighborhood, hit one of them up to come spend an hour with us once a week or once a month.
Awesome.
That's a good look on the map, find the HOAs.
Okay, and that's for Area 7,
Area 1 and 7.
1 and 7.
And I know there's
The
one
challenge is
in 7.
Brilliant, that's brilliant. Yeah, either, don't complain, show up and haven't heard
My
nothing.
paycheck this week.
No, that's brilliant. So, okay,
Okay, can I go back to
Yeah.
this,
The sparse area.
hang on, let me just complete this with Gary and then. So,
I've got the numbers that I'll submit.
okay, thank you, sir, appreciate it.
And another suggestion for Area 1 would be to reach out to the Old Town Homo Association, because one is basically Old Town, right?
And that's a connection we definitely need to make.
Maybe one of them would serve on SCAC.
That's the next thing that needs to happen, seriously happen. That was, okay, Patty, what's up?
on the consent agenda, the 00005, I didn't hear any discussion on that. Did we just skip over it and just?
No, the gentleman came up and he spoke about it, with the white beard, he was
Yeah.
talking about that, wasn't he?
No,
Or is that a different one?
That was,
that was something else.
that was a different project.
Nobody talked about this.
No, we,
Talked about the full tower and the,
Yeah, that
well,
was.
asked him about the home.
Some come through.
Yeah, just put it
That
down.
wasn't, that wasn't this one, this is, Simmer and Rowe, they're trying to put in an $18,000 building. I mean, $18,000 worth
So-
of building.
Pat, we've already
That's already passed.
voted on it, it's already done. We already put
Why
on the
is it
consent
on that?
agenda.
Yeah.
Land use review project,
Yeah,
we felt it was a very non-controversial proposal. It's just moving this building envelope from one piece of the property to one that makes a little more sense, and it leaves the entire remaining acreage open for
well,
agriculture.
so they already.
That's all it is.
For what,
And it was a very, very small, simple thing to do, and we felt it wasn't worth any big presentation, and so.
What is the building for, though? Is it residential?
Yes, residential.
18,000 square foot?
No.
What is it, it says here 18,000.
18,755.
Yeah, square foot building.
Building envelope.
Oh,
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 so what does that mean?
That's the piece of ground where they're gonna build a house.
Oh, so how
It
big
was
is
already
the house?
pre-approved over here, they just wanna move it over to this side of the property, that's all it was.
How big is the house?
I don't know. Just a normal house. They just wanna move it
So a
from here
normal-
to here, that's it.
So let's say a normal 4 to 5 bedroom house is an 18,000 square foot at
What's
home,
that?
usually? I mean, I'm just curious, because I don't know.
That probably encompasses the gardens and the driveway
Hello.
and everything else.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's been approved. Budget is done. Thank you, Steve. The last thing is, reminder, July the 11th, with Jimmy at the library. Everybody got that in their calendar? 11:30 a.m. sharp. Thursday.
On that note, are you guys gonna, budget for lunch or gonna pack your own lunches?
You're not-
Unfortunately, we can't buy you lunch, but your council can buy lunch.
So,
So what $100 to the budget?
11, see,
The council has never bought lunch.
Then that might be your answer. But there's also a first time for anything, everything, right?
or we could just,
We could pool our money and somebody go to Subway.
all right, okay, good. All right, so bring your own stupid lunch. All right, the next SCAC meeting is July 27th at 6:30 PM. Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad we had this time together.